So, I wanted to talk a little bit about self awareness today because in the space I work in, there is a lot of talk about building and expanding our self awareness, that place where we understand who we truly are and why we are like we are, and also seeing some of those blind spots or those old patterns and programs and how we can move through them. So, in a study, they found that about 95% of people believed they were self aware, but only about 10 to 15% actually are. And I really like the work of Tasha Eurich, who did a TED talk and also talks about these four different types of archetypes that help us understand where we are on the self awareness scale. So today I just thought I'd drop in and share about those four types. And maybe you can just think for yourself where you might sit in one of those four cornerstones. So the first one is called the introspector, and those have what we call a really high level of internal self awareness. They've done a lot of reading, they have done a lot of maybe online courses, they've done meditation, and they spend a lot of time working on their own inner self awareness. But they have a low level of external self awareness. They haven't had a lot of feedback from others or honest feedback. They don't seek coaching or therapy or things that can show them those blind spots or maybe those areas where their old programs are outdated and someone's holding up the mirror and really showing them these parts of themselves they can't see. So that's the introspector going in. The second one is called the seeker. And these are people who maybe have a little bit of tunnel vision, or they've got their blinkers on and they haven't done a lot of inner soul searching or a lot of inner work or even awareness of their emotional responses or patterns or programs, but they're also not aware of what other people think or the feedback they have. So this can be a little bit of a bumpy ride when you're in the seeker space, because you think usually that everything is everyone else's fault. You think that all your suffering is due to what other people cause in you. So this is a place that you really want to be doing some work on to build that inner and outer awareness. So the next one is the pleaser archetype. And this is someone who has a really high level of awareness of their external self-awareness. So they're very tapped into what other people think of them, probably a little bit too much, so that a lot of their behavior and their reactions and responses are molded around what they think other people need or want or desire out of them. So they've given a lot of themselves to that, but in the process have lost their own anchor or compass in who they are and their own awareness of self. So they might lack some boundaries or that kind of internal compass. So we really want to work on that part if you are in that pleasing place. The last archetype is kind of where we're all trying to get to, which is just awareness, the aware archetype. And that is when we have a high level of internal self-awareness. We have ownership for our emotional reactions. We take responsibility for how we're living from our past into our present. We start to embody some of the work that we're doing, and we can create that space between our stimulus and responses. But we also have a high level of awareness of feedback from others, of working with others, of maybe uncovering those blind spots so that we can see where we might be held back or where we might be able to go to that next level. So I'd love to know from you, where do you feel on the like you are on the scale? Where do you tend to go? More to working on your own stuff? Is it more to please other people? Have you not even considered this? You might be in that seeker space. But this is a really, really important area that I work on and helping people move them into the aware space. And we do a lot of practices somatically through various internal family systems, through coaching, so that we can really marry up the internal and external self-awareness. So I hope that's helpful. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this topic.